Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Edge Sports Network. Nick here, joined by another special guest in our series of summer interviews for you. We got Steffon Mitchell, Boston College men's basketball. Steffon, thanks so much for joining us on the site today.
Hey, no problem. Glad to be here.
Great to have you on. Looking forward to hearing a little bit about your Boston College experience, as well as how you got to the NCAA. We'll start in high school here. You are the all-time leader in points at your high school with 1,985 and rebounds with 800. Senior year, you averaged 25.3 points and 9.7 rebounds, so almost a double-double right there. So obviously, you go down in the history books in high school. How do you keep those skills? How do they transfer over to college? What did you kind of learn at high school in terms of leadership, skills on the court, off the court? How did those help in your post-grad year that I know you took and eventually at Boston College?
Oh, it helped a lot. I think one of the big things I was missing from is why I took postgrad year was maturity. My body really wasn't ready to perform at a high Division I level, so that just helped me out a lot. And also with the way I grew up is just like where we always everything in the family is viewed as like a competition stuff, so that
Mm-hmm.
helped me. And always being one of the younger kids, like I'm the oldest in my family, but my dad was a basketball coach, so I've always had to play against older kids, and that really helped my competitiveness
Mm-hmm.
going forward.
So yeah, I know you took a prep year as well, and I know not every guy obviously goes that route. So what were your goals kind of going into that prep year? I mean, as I said, not every guy takes a prep year. What were you kind of hoping to gain, learn, improve on when you took that extra year before you headed to Boston College?
Yeah, I wanted to improve on my body. I thought I could show college coaches I could play at a high level. I
Mm-hmm.
thought I did that in high school, but I didn't receive a high major offer till after prep school. So
Mm-hmm.
I was always pretty set on going high major. I thought I always could play at that elite level, and I think that Sunrise really helped develop my body and my game to give me the best chance to go high major, and that's why I went to Boston College.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the prep year helped as well. You get thrown right into the thick of things your freshman year. You averaged 33 minutes a game, and you played in 34 games, made 27 starts. So when you get thrown into the mix like that right out of the gate, immediately in your freshman year, how long does that kind of take to get comfortable with things? I mean, was it a little bit of a process, or did you feel comfortable really early on in the season?
I felt really confident early on in the season because being at that, like even being in college basketball, that you practice every day, you play with the same guys every day. It's like you get
Mm-hmm.
down to a routine. I think the only thing that was really crazy was when I played my first ACC game,
Yeah.
and that was against Duke that year. It's just like the jump from ACC to non-conference is absolutely crazy. And like
Uh-huh.
to this day, I still remember like that feeling of like playing against Duke my first day because that was the first time I really was just like, so this is what I signed up for.
Yeah, I mean, that must have been absolutely crazy. ACC, amazing conference. The competition there, just outstanding. I know we're going to dive into a little bit of that later. And I want to talk about a game your freshman year against Georgia Tech. You knocked down a three-pointer to force OT. Now, I know every kid growing up, when they're in the driveway, when they're getting up shots, working on their game, I know I did this when I was a kid. You'd always pretend, you're making a buzzer beater shot, you're counting
Oh yeah.
down. I know I'd miss a few. I'd miss a few, throwing an extra few seconds on the clock there, act like the game was still going on. But when you're actually in a situation like that, when you're not in the driveway, when you're in front of thousands in a big game, can you walk us through what the emotion is in that situation? What's kind of going through your mind and how you get through that clutch situation in a successful way?
Yeah, of course. Previously, before that game, I had a chance to end the game with a similar shot like that, and it
Mm-hmm.
didn't go my way. But confidence-wise, you always have to be confident in your abilities, and I think the repetition of that really helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like you're taking the same, nothing changes except for what time in the game that was. I've taken that
Mm-hmm.
shot hundreds and hundreds of thousands of times, and I felt confident I could make that, and that feeling when that ball just went through the net was just perfect.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what you work for is to get that sensation.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly look so confident your freshman year. I think that's something not a lot of guys can really do, especially in a conference like the ACC, school like Boston College. And you carry that over to your sophomore year. And an interesting stat here, you led BC in at least one statistical category in 24 of the 27 games you played. Your freshman year, you led BC in one statistical category in 31 of the 34 games that you played. So you are the definition of a stat sheet stuffer. I almost got tripped up on that alliteration right there, but I got through it. So, I mean, what kind of goes into having such a well-rounded game? You know, how do you really put emphasis on that? We see so many guys nowadays kind of focus on one thing, but you really got your hand in every bag here. Points, rebounds, assists, defensive end of the ball. What's the mindset to really stuff the stat sheet night in, night out, and be kind of one of these well-rounded two-way players?
Yeah, my goal when I'm step foot on the game, my goal is to win at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to do everything and anything to win. If that requires me getting 18 rebounds, 18 points,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of steals, I'll do anything to win. If my team needs me to guard a certain player, I'll hold that player to a specific amount. But my goal is to win the game. I'll do anything to win the game, and I think that's like a niche I have going forward, is that I can do a little bit of everything.
Now, I was going to save this question for a little bit later in the interview, but now that you brought up doing anything to win, I got to bring it up. Got to bring it up a little bit early. Read a story on Boston.com, and it was this year your guys win against Virginia. It was your biggest win of the year. You threw up a few hours before the game. You had an IV. And this is just hours before the game. Hours before a huge ACC game. You got defending champs, Virginia, and not a lot of people would play through that, I don't think. I don't think a lot of guys would play through that. I'd say 99% of guys say, you know what, done. I don't care what level it is, NCAA, NBA, they're probably not playing. You go out, you play 30 minutes. Again, you stuff the stat sheet. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 steals, lockdown on defense, hustle plays all night. Where does that drive and grit come from? I mean, how do you manage to persist through something like that? That's a grade A example of intense adversity. I mean, how do you do it, especially against one of the best teams in the country, the defending champions?
Yeah, so my training staff did a great job getting me able to even step foot in that game, and as soon as the tip started, my adrenaline took over. I think one of the things that really helped me through that, it was knowing that, like, if you win, it'll all be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't throw up all the previous times. Just sit there and you put your best foot forward and hope for the best, and that's what we did. Everybody locked down. We were actually missing our starting center that game, our starting point guard. So everybody stepped up that game, and that was big for us.
I mean, yeah, in a game like that, you guys really do have to step up, and it showed. That was just when I saw that you played through that. I was like, oh my God, this guy's nothing going to stop him. And I think when you're playing in a city like Boston, that's the kind of mentality you have to have. Obviously, Boston fans expect so much from their teams, both collegiate and professional. Can you talk a little bit about playing in a city like Boston? I mean, unbelievable sports culture, immense support for the teams. What is it like being a part of that culture?
Yeah, Boston's a great city. It's just there's such great history there with like the sports teams, and what's wild is that we have so many other colleges nearby that make it even better. I'd love to play like the other Division I teams in that area just so we could have like more of a rivalry there in state. But the city of Boston is great.
Yeah, I mean, I know they kind of do that in hockey with the bean pot there.
The bean pot, yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think that would actually be great if they could do that, because I know, first of all, I think the fan turnout would be fantastic. Second of all,
that'd be fun to do.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little competition and stuff like that. It'd be great. Good thing for all teams.
I think that'd be great. Yeah, it'd be unbelievable rivalry and something to look forward to. I think they should even just do like a small tournament. I mean, I don't know where they'd fit that in, but I think that'd be great for the city, for each school.
Or like a pool play thing. Where
I know.
Everybody plays like each other once at like a neutral site, and then
they got to do something
for everybody.
I think you're coming up with ideas here that might just crack into college basketball. I mean, I think this is something.
That's the goal.
I mean, I think this is something they got to look into. This is just
why can't we do it?
There you go. You heard it first here from Steffon Mitchell, NCAA. You guys got to get on this. But I mean, yeah, you've had such an impressive career so far at Boston College. I mean, one part of your game, I think everyone kind of looks at you for is your defensive game. It's just so good. I know you look at the Celtics right now, they got some unbelievable defenders. Go look at BC. You're that guy. I mean, you're that Marcus Smart of Boston College right now. You were named to the All ACC and ACC All Defensive Team this past year in your junior season. So, I mean, when you're on defense, what things do you kind of focus on? I know every offense is probably different in the NCAA. So, coming into a game, I mean, is it scouting reports? Is it tape that you've watched? What do you kind of focus on? What are some things you look for to kind of pick apart other teams' offenses?
Yeah, it's a lot of film watching.
Mm-hmm.
Also, is it like the tendencies? I think I can guard 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't say any person I'm guarding. I don't think it's. I think it's a. I think I have the advantage. So that's like one of my favorite things. I can switch onto a guard, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like I can guard guards. Or I was guarding Vernon Carey, and then I was guarding um Hub. I was guarding point guards. Alvarado. Like I can guard it 1 through 5, and I think that's just such an advantage that I have. And like I watch film on what certain moves, like Diakite from Virginia, certain moves that he has that I need to stop, or else it could get. Also, he's a great player, so he could
Mm-hmm.
get going. So I got to watch film to make sure stuff like that can't happen.
Yeah, I mean, your interior defense and your perimeter defense, both very good. You're getting steals, you're getting blocks, you're doing it all on the defensive end. Making hustle plays, that translates to offense. As I said, I mean, you're just doing it on both ends of the floor. I mean, to close up here, you're entering year 4, the final run here, your senior season. It's what everyone looks forward to. I mean, what are you looking forward to this year with BC? You guys are in the ACC here. I mean, very competitive conference. I know that's helped you, in your career. You mentioned how that's made you a better player. So this is the conclusion of that before you head to that next level, that next step, which is the NBA, looking towards that. But entering year 4, what are you looking for here? What do you hope to see individually and for Boston College basketball as a whole?
My goal for Boston College basketball is to get to the tournament. I think we
Mm-hmm.
have the pieces this year, and I think we have the group of guys to do. I think mentality-wise, we have the group of guys to do it. In individual season, I just want to play to the best of my ability to help our team win. That's
Mm-hmm.
if we the further we go, the better we all look. So there's
Mm-hmm.
if we're a great team, all of us will be great. Like we're trying to all be great. So that's what it takes is for us to be a great team, and everyone get their individual recognitions that way.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it's all about winning.
yeah, you guys got potential. You guys got the talent right here. And I think another thing that'll be great, I think the fan support this year is going to be through the roof because you look at it right now, we're out of sports. I know in Boston, they need their sports right now. I mean, that we talked a little bit about the culture of the city. So once they get their sports back, I think you guys are going to have great fan turnout. Hopefully that'll help you guys at home to defend the home floor. But I think you guys should have a lot to look forward to. Congrats on a great junior season. I know you had a great year. 7.8 points, 8.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists. Very balanced, as we mentioned. Best of luck next season in your senior year. I hope that it is here on time. I can assure you that. Steffon Mitchell, thank you so much for joining us here on the site. It was great to have you. Great to hear a little bit about Boston College basketball.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This has been fun.
No problem at all. We'd love to have you on again in the future. Guys, if you want to follow Steffon's career, we'll make sure to put his Twitter link right down below. You guys can follow him on Twitter. And if you want to keep updated on Boston College basketball, news and updates, we'll have a link down below as well for you guys, as we always do. And as always, guys, thank you so much for joining us here today on Edge Sports Network for another interview. We really do appreciate the support. Hope you guys are enjoying the interviews, and we'll see you guys next time.